It's that time of the year again where we're all deciding who our next stocks and share ISA provider is going to be. In today's video, I wanted to sit down and compare some of the most important features across some of the most popular platforms right now. Hopefully, this way it will give you information and make your choice a little bit simpler. I've put together a table to try and make this as concise as possible. Of course, there will be some providers in this video that I don't talk about. If you would like to give those providers a shout out or want to give any extra information to people viewing this video about providers I have or have not spoken about, please leave a comment in the comments below. I have also been with some of these providers, so where applicable, I will try and provide some personal experience as well, because I know that's always helpful. Now, choosing a stocks and shares ISA is a pretty personal thing. The best provider for one person is not going to necessarily be the best provider for another person. It really comes down to what features are important to you, what is offered on the platform, what strategy of investing you're following. All of these different things come into play when you're picking who is going to be best for you. Okay, so here we are on the table that I've made. You'll see down the left-hand side, I've mentioned some different providers. I've tried to pick the most popular ones right now, so this video can help as many people as possible. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to include every single provider, but we've got Freetrade, Trading 212, Interactive Brokers, Invest Engine, Vanguard, Hargreaves Lansdown, and Interactive Investor. So between those, I think that's probably most of them. There will be some that I just haven't added into this table. But yeah, let's start going through it. And then along at the top, I've got different features, but there'll be some more thrown in as we go. So let's start with what's available. What I mean by this is, what can you expect to be able to invest in when you go with these different providers? For some people, they want to invest in just passive investment types like ETFs and index funds. For other people, they really want to be able to invest in REITs, individual stocks, ETFs, bonds, everything they possibly can. So this is going to be a very personal decision. Let me just go through what's going to be available on each of them. If you go onto their website, you will be able to see the exact number of different ETFs and different stocks that they offer. So for example, Freetrade offer about 6,000 stocks and ETFs. But I didn't want to put loads of numbers on this table. I wanted to keep it quite simple. So when I've put everything here next to Freetrade, what I mean by that is, you are going to pretty much, unless you're, very niche about this, going to be able to invest in everything you want to. If you want to invest in Apple, you're going to be able to do it. If you want to invest in an S&P 500 tracker, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to get everything you want here. So Freetrade, for example, again, you're going to be able to invest in US stocks, UK stocks, European stocks, ETFs, REITs, even investment trusts and things like that, if that's up your street. Trading 212 is going to be a very similar picture. Yes, it's not going to be exactly 6,000. It might be more, might be less, but you're going to be able to invest in pretty much everything you could want. Interactive Brokers, same thing. You're going to be able to invest in everything. Now, this is where it starts getting a little bit different. Invest Engine is ETFs only. So if you are sitting there and you want to invest in some individual stocks, perhaps you want to invest in some Apple stock, maybe you want to invest in some Rio Tinto, maybe some Diageo, you are not going to be able to do that on Invest Engine. You're only going to be able to invest in ETFs. So you might say, oh, well, that's not very good. Why on earth would I want to go with them? Well, actually, there's loads of pros to this platform as well. It's really a pros and cons game with this. You need to decide what you want to invest into and what's important to you, and then process of elimination, find the best platform for you. Vanguard is a similar story here. They are not going to offer you individual stocks. So again, if you want to invest in individual dividend, non-dividend, growth, whatever it may be, individual stocks, you can't do that on Vanguard, nor Invest Engine, as we just seen. With Invest Engine though, you are going to be able to invest in a wide array of different ETFs. If you want a BlackRock ETF, if you want a Vanguard ETF, if you want a provider here ETF, you're going to be able to probably find it on Invest Engine. Vanguard, however, they keep it in-house. And what I mean is, you can only invest in Vanguard specific funds through Vanguard. So you're not going to be able to invest in individual stocks, nor are you going to be able to invest in non-Vanguard funds. Having said that, Vanguard funds are some of the best out there. So again, if you only want the passive investment type, Vanguard are not going to necessarily be at your detriment. It's probably going to be a good platform to go with. Anyway, they don't just offer S&P 500 trackers, FTSE 100 trackers. They've also got their own products like their life strategy funds as well. So something to consider there. And the last two on this list, Hargreaves Lansdown and Interactive Investors. Again, I think you can pretty much get everything you need on both of these platforms. So the only two that are a little bit different here are Invest Engine and Vanguard. The next couple of things we need to speak about are perhaps the most important things when it comes to investing, and this is fees. Now, if the fees are too high on a platform, then that could really eat into your return. I'll try and put a graph up now if I remember, but there are loads and loads of studies, loads of graphs that show you the higher your fee, the lower your return. It sounds quite self-explanatory, but I think when you're beginning investing, you don't really think that extra £2 a month is really going to add up. It really does. If you invest for many decades, that little amount of money really snowballs. Just like your investment should snowball and compound, so does that little amount of money. That fee, that extra fee that you have to pay, becomes a big fee, and that gets deducted off your total returns. So it's really important to think about this. When we're talking about fees, I think it's important to think about all of the different fees. So think about the tiers, if there are fees there, the account fees, commission fees, any other fees that they might have, the FX fee, and we're going to go through all of them. So starting off with Freetrade. Freetrade actually are one of the providers that offer a tier system, and there's been lots of changes recently to this. So I'm going to try and explain them all to you today. So Freetrade offer 3 tiers. They offer a basic tier, a standard tier, and a plus tier. Now on the basic tier, which is their free tier, you don't need to pay for that one. They do not allow you to have a stocks and shares ISA. And a stocks and shares ISA is the best way in the UK to be investing because it's our tax wrapper, it's our tax efficient account. If you're going to not open a stocks and shares ISA and open a different type of account and invest there, you're going to be missing out on a lot of returns because you're going to be paying tax elsewhere. So please prioritize a stocks and shares ISA over any other account when you begin investing. I would rule the idea of having a free account on Freetrade out the window. If you want a stocks and shares ISA, you're going to have to pay an account fee. So that leaves 2 different tiers. You have got the standard tier coming in at $4.99, that's a month, or the plus tier coming in at $9.99 a month. Both of these monthly fees are due to increase from May this year, I believe. So the standard one will be going up to $5.99 and the plus tier will be going up to $11.99. So if you sign up for a Freetrade ISA this tax year coming up, so you sign up in April, please note that from May these fees will be rising. And double check that before you sign up, of course. Don't take everything I say in this video as the absolute, but something to bear in mind there. And like I also said, you will get slightly different features on these different plans. So again, go and look at that, but I'm going to cover quite a few of them in this video. Now, something else that I want you to bear in mind is that a lot of these commission-free platforms, so like Freetrade, Trading 212, maybe a few others on our list, the ones that really push that their trades are free, you don't pay every time you make an investment. Just be aware that they do need to make their money somewhere. So there may be higher FX fees, there may be account fees like we've seen with Freetrade. So just bear that in mind as well, because something can't stay free forever, but also definitely consider where you want to be allocating your money when it comes to fees, because like I said, they can really eat into your return. So it is all a balancing act, honestly. Right, moving down to Trading 212. They will not charge you to have an account with them. They will not charge you a monthly fee, and there are no tiers. Sign up to a stocks and shares ISA with Trading 212. You will not pay to have that account, and you will not have different tiers for different people depending on how much they pay. Everyone gets the same features, and there are no monthly fees associated to having the account. Interactive Brokers does have a fee. Now, what I'm going to say about Interactive Brokers is they are very new to the ISA world. They only started their UK stocks and shares ISA last tax year. So this is they're going into their second tax year of offering a stocks and shares ISA to UK clients. They are, however, a very trusted platform. They've been around in the States and in the UK outside of the ISA for many decades. So they're very well known, they're very trusted, but they are very new to the ISA environment. And their fees and their fee structure are very confusing. Don't take that lightly. It's really confusing. I have been with them myself, and I know there are a few other people on YouTube that speak about them and try and share their fee structure. But it's honestly quite mind blowing, and it's kind of crazy to understand it all. So if you watch this video and you want more information about their fee structure, go and look on their website, but also maybe just give them a call and ask them some questions, because I appreciate that you may be a little bit confused by this, but I'll try and explain it the best I can. And I've been with them last tax year, so I can try and share some of the fees from a personal experience as well. They will charge you £3 a month to have the stocks and shares ISA. So slightly cheaper than free trade for sure, coming in at £3, but there is still a fee compared to some of the other accounts that we've seen. So this is the activity fee, they're calling it. But what they've also said is that any commissions that you generate will be deducted off that £3. So for example, if you generate £2 of commissions in a month, then you would pay £1 as the activity fee that month. Generate no commissions and you'll pay £3. Generate some commissions and those amount of commissions will be removed from the £3. Now you're probably saying, why is that so confusing? It sounds quite simple there, but you'll see as we move forward with this table, it gets a little bit more confusing than that. Invest Engine have two different options. So they will either charge £0 for having the stocks and shares ISA account with them if you're going to do a DIY portfolio. So that means you're going to decide yourself what you're investing in and you're going to manage your investments, your portfolio on your own. If you want them involved and you want a managed portfolio, there will be an account charge of 0.25%. However, I imagine most people watching this video will actually want to do it themselves. I could be assuming incorrectly there, but even if you want a managed portfolio, the fee is 0.25%. Vanguard do actually have an account fee. It's 0.15%, and that is per year, and that is capped at £375 per year. Now, that 0.15% is going to be very insignificant on any small accounts. When I was with Vanguard, my account didn't really get over £6,000 and the account fees were minuscule. Like, I didn't even notice them leaving my account. But of course, if your account grows and grows and grows, that 0.15 is going to become more significant. It is capped at £375 a year, but it's going to grow as your account grows. So also bear that in mind. Hargreaves Lansdown is 0.45% of your total portfolio value every single year, but that is also capped at £45 per year. An interactive investor comes along now and has to make it slightly more confusing. If you have under £30,000 in your interactive investor ISA, you will pay $4.99 per month to have that account. If you go over 30k, $9.99 per month. And there is also a $19.99 per month plan as well. That doesn't depend, as far as I believe, on how much you have. It just offers you slightly different things. So do look into that if you're interested in that provider. Now we get on to the fee section. So this is on top of any account fees that we've just seen. This is not instead of, this is on top of, so bear that in mind. The first fee to think about is the trading fee, so the commission fee. This means that every time you log onto your account and you purchase a stock or an ETF, is there going to be a fee for doing that? Is there a commission fee associated with that? Now, like I said, a lot of these platforms market themselves as commission free. So they are saying that they're not going to charge you for each investment you make in terms of a commission charge. Free trade, no trading fee, no commission free, same thing. They're not going to charge you every time you make an investment. Trading 212 again are a commission free platform right now, so they will also not charge you for making the investment. Interactive brokers, it starts getting very confusing here. So with interactive brokers, there are two different fee structures, fee plans that you can have. You can have the fixed fee structure or the tiered fee structure. Now, it's very, very simple to have either one of these. You simply log onto your account. Under your account information, you change which one you want to be on. You can change that at any time. When I was on interactive brokers, I changed it a few times just to see the impact on my fees. So you can literally change it. You have to wait a little bit for it to update, but you can change it one day and then make an investment the next day using the fee structure that you've just picked, for example. So you don't have to commit to only one of these. and have that forever. You can go between them. Put simply, the fixed option has a fixed amount that you will get charged, whereas the tier option is tiered depending on the amount you invest, as far as I understand. But again, definitely look at this in more detail. Depending on what you actually want to invest in, there will be slightly different commissions, slightly different fees associated. If you are investing in mainly US individual stocks, so you want to invest into some Microsoft, some Apple, some Tesla, whatever it may be, these big US stocks, you are going to be paying a very little amount on Interactive Brokers. It's going to be a very cheap way for you to do this. So if you are on the, I've put it here, yeah, the tiered plan, and you're purchasing less than 100 shares, you're going to be paying 35 cents for that investment, which is not very much money at all. If you're on the fixed plan, it's going to change slightly, but it's going to depend because, like I said, the tiered plan is going to depend on how much you actually invest. So for some people, that option is going to be cheaper, whereas the fixed plan is going to make more sense for other people. It's slightly different to buy UK individual stocks than it is to buy US individual stocks on Interactive Brokers. I've put here that it's more expensive for UK stocks. From personal experience, I was paying between £1 and £1.20 per trade to buy UK stocks. And I will try and show you some more information on that nearer the end of the video. I'll pull up how much I was paying in fees just so you can see it more clearly. The next thing to say about Interactive Brokers is there's one free withdrawal per month, and then there's a charge of £7 for any additional withdrawals after that. So if you're someone that knows they're not going to be withdrawing from their account at all, don't even worry about this. If you're someone that is going to be withdrawing quite a lot, definitely consider this, because £7 is a lot and it will add up. But if you're not going to be, then I wouldn't worry. Invest Engine is a no commission platform as well. So there's going to be no trading fee associated with purchasing your ETFs on that platform. Vanguard have a slightly different setup. So depending on what you invest into, there'll be an ongoing charge. The ongoing charge will range from 0.06% to 0.78%. Like I said, depending on the fund that you pick. All of this is listed on their website. So go onto their website, have a look at the sort of funds that you're going to be interested in and see what that ongoing charge is going to be. The ready-made portfolios are slightly different. Again, if you want a ready-made portfolio, you're going to be paying an ongoing charge of between 0.22 and 0.24%. I just want to give you an example here because we're seeing Vanguard pop up in all the different fee columns. So it sounds like it's going to be really expensive, but actually Vanguard notoriously is quite one of the fairly cheap platforms to actually go with. So if you're going to be investing into, let's say you're going to be putting £10,000 into VUSA. VUSA is an S&P 500 ETF that Vanguard offer. So let's say that's the only investment you're going to make across the year. You're going to stick £10,000 in and you're going to leave it alone. You would be paying 0.07% as an ongoing charge, which is very small because that's the ongoing charge associated with that fund in Vanguard. Like I said in this section here, it does change depending on which fund. So 0.07 ongoing charge of 10,000 is going to be £7 across the year. So if you divide £7 up by 12, it's not going to be very much money per month at all. Then on top of that, you're going to be paying this 0.15% per year in an account fee. 0.15% of 10,000 is 15. So with the £15 account fee and the £7 ongoing charge, you are going to be paying £22 to have that £10,000 invested into VUSA across the year on Vanguard. So I hope that gives you some more context. But like I said, it does depend on which funds you're going to be buying. Put it this way though, all the time that I was on Vanguard, I didn't have a massive portfolio. I invested into a few different things and I never once looked at my account fees and was in any way shocked. Like they were very, very small. They were pennies most of the time. So I don't think it's a cause for concern. Another little nuance, if you will, to point out about Vanguard is that if you want instant trades, so you want to be able to click buy, guarantee that price and buy it right there and then, there will be a £7.50 instant trade fee. However, I don't really think you need to actually use that. If obviously if you want it, you can, but £7.50 per trade is a lot of money. I never used it when I was on Vanguard. I just waited till the next available slot and that didn't take very long at all. Maybe I placed my order now, it went through in an hour. Maybe I placed my order now and it went through in 2 hours or first thing tomorrow morning. I don't think you need to really pay for that if you don't need that service, but that will, put your your fees up a lot if you're doing that every time. Hargreaves Lansdown is a little bit more expensive than the others we've just spoken about today. Hargreaves Lansdown is one of these very traditional, trusted, more established providers, if you will. And they are a little bit more expensive, but some people are okay with that because, you know, they really like them, they've been with them a long time, and they really trust them. They've got a name for themselves and it's a good one. Again, something else to think about. Hargreaves Lansdown will charge you $11.95 per trade if you're making under 10 trades per month. $11.95. So if you're only putting £100 into an investment each month, $11.95 of that is going to fees. Crazy. Like, that's a lot of money. That is a massive percentage of that return. However, if you are someone that is investing large amounts of money, let's say you're putting, oh God, I can only dream. Let's say you're putting £8,000 in at one go, £10,000 in at one go, then the $11.95 may not be as crazy. Definitely something to consider though. If you're making between 10, I put 91 here, this is meant to be 19. If you're making between 10 and 19 trades per month, it's going to drop to $8.95. And if you go over 20, it's going to be $5.95 per trade. Interactive Investor as well is a little bit more confusing, and their fees are going to depend on which one of their plans that you're on. If you're on the $4.99 plan, you're going to pay $5.99 per trade, which again is quite a lot of money. If you're on their $9.99 per plan, so if you're already spending $9.99 per month, they're going to give you one free trade per month, and then you're going to pay $5.99 on top of that account fee for any additional trades that you make. The $19.99 plan that I mentioned, you'll get 2 free trades per month, and then it's going to be $3.99 for each trade after that. So you'll already see that the best platform for you will really depend on how much you're investing, how regularly you're investing, and all these different things, what you want to invest in. So there's not just one fits all really here. The next feature that we need to discuss, the next fee, is the FX fee. So this is how much you are paying when you purchase a stock in a foreign currency. On free trade, they are going to charge you 0.59% if you're on the standard plan, and 0.39% if you're on the plus plan. Trading 212 are going to just charge you one amount no matter what, and that is 0.15%. If you're a UK investor and you're only going to invest in UK stocks, you're not going to have to worry about this too much, but you're probably going to want to invest in some American stocks, maybe some Canadian stocks, different things where this FX fee will actually come into play. Interactive brokers win here for sure. Their FX fee is tiny, it's 0.03%. That's why I said if you want just US individual stocks, Interactive Brokers is going to be quite cheap. If you want to start getting more complicated and adding other things, there may be a different provider that's going to be better. So moving on, Invest Engine is going to be 0 because everything on that platform is listed in pounds already. So there's going to be no exchange fee to exchange pounds to dollars or whatever it may be. So there's no FX fee involved at all. You'll see that Invest Engine is pretty simple. If you just want ETFs, it's going to be quite cheap and it's going to be very, very simple. So that's one good thing about them for sure. Vanguard is exactly the same as Invest Engine. You don't need to pay an FX fee. Hargreaves Lansdown is coming along and making this a little bit more confusing. For the first 5,000, you're going to have a 1% FX fee. For the next 5,000 after that, it's going to drop to 0.75%. The next 10,000, 0.5%, and then above 20k is going to be 0.25%. Very confusing there. Have a look on their website if you're confused, just for some more context around that. I've not been with Hargreaves Lansdown myself, so I can only really recite the information that I found, whereas some of the others I can give a more personal experience. In Interactive Investor, I always find Interactive Brokers and Interactive Investor really confusing in my head. They sound so similar, but it's going to be up to 1.5%. Depending on the amount that you're going to be investing, just like we saw with Hargreaves Lansdown. The next one up is customer service, and I think this is one that tends to get a little bit overlooked. Everyone pays attention to the fees and what they can invest in because it means something to them right there and then when they're choosing, and they don't think they're going to really utilize the customer service section, but actually you probably will. Like when it comes to your money, if you're confused, you see an extra fee that you shouldn't be paying, something's going wrong on your platform, you can't log in, you are going to want a good customer service because it comes down to your money. And that money is important. So you are going to want good, quick help. So I do think it's important to consider this. Let's just go through some of the options. So typically nowadays, you'll either be able to have like an online chat, like a little bot that then maybe goes through to a live representative. You might be able to call. You might be able to use like almost of an emailing system, like a ticket system on the actual platform. They're the main ways I can think that you can actually interact with customer services in different companies these days. And these different providers offer different combinations of those things. So Freetrade, as far as I understand, offer a ticket system. So you will log onto your account, you will make a ticket, you'll wait for an answer. I don't believe they offer a call-in service. Now, please someone correct me if I'm wrong. I've not had an ISA with Freetrade, but as far as I can see, they offer a ticket system. And again, I've not been with them, so this next statement is not coming from personal experience, but I have heard that unless you're on this plus plan where you're going to get priority response, you're going to get priority customer service, then you may be waiting a few days, or it may be a little bit slow to actually get a reply if you're on the standard plan. Trading 212 offer a live chat and a ticket system. So the live chat is going to be where it's sort of an online chat where you initially get through to a bot. The bot can answer a lot of common questions, but you can get through to a live representative pretty easily if you need to. And the ticket system, again, fairly straightforward. You put in a request on your account and then you wait and someone will email you back on the ticket system itself. Quite straightforward. Now, I've been with Trading 212 for not very long at all, but I was involved with them throughout my ISA transfer. And what I will say is, so far, they have had fantastic customer service. Every time I have gone to the online chat, I've been connected pretty much instantly. The person has been really nice. They've gone out of their way to find the answers. They've, told me straight away. And if they haven't been able to answer the question, they open a ticket and they get back to me. And they've always got back to me within 24 hours, or they've always updated me on their progress. But yeah, you can contact them at pretty much any time. I think it's 24/7 even. I've put that here, double check that. But, whether I've contacted them at 9 a.m. in the morning, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, 1 a.m. the next morning, whatever it's been, I've been able to contact someone. So yeah, can't knock it. I've had really, really good experience with them so far. Interactive brokers offer a phone system, a ticket system, and an online chat. I have done all of these with interactive brokers. The online chat has taken quite a while to connect some time. I've put in the request and it's taken, sort of 35 minutes to connect with an online representative, which, if you want to just leave your laptop there and wait for it to connect, it's fine. You will get through to someone. But it hasn't been as instant for me as Trading 212. The phone system, again, I've been able to call someone and talk to someone. The ticket system, I would say that it's very similar to Trading 212, but again, it hasn't been as fast for me. And like I was saying, interactive brokers is very new to the ISA scene. So some of the representatives that you may get through aren't necessarily as knowledgeable as some of the other platforms on ISAs. Not everyone for sure, but I have spoken, and this is just personal experience, I have spoken to a couple that weren't as clued up on ISAs as some of the other platforms. But again, that's just a personal experience and it's not representative of the entire team, of course. Moving down to Investor Engine, a ticket system. Again, I've not used them, so I can't say too much about that. If you have used the customer service for any of these platforms and you want to add more, again, I encourage you to do so in the comments below. Vanguard, ticket and phone. I've never called Vanguard because I've never needed to. I've always used their online messaging system and it's been very, very fast. Great replies, really, really thorough replies. So again, I've never had a problem with that. Hargreaves Lansdown, phone and ticket, and Interactive Investor, phone and ticket again. Next up is usability. How easy is it going to be for you to start an account with this new platform and navigate your way around? Is it going to be really confusing or is it going to be quite straightforward? Freetrade is typically very, very easy to use. I wouldn't say you're going to be confused if you're a beginner or you're just new to Freetrade. However, they don't have a desktop version. There is only a mobile app, and that is a column in a second that we'll go through. But yeah, if a desktop version is important to you, definitely consider this. I believe they were trialing one, but I'm not sure it's live or it was any good. So at the moment, I think their mobile app is the main option that you have. Trading 212, I'm on this platform currently, so I can speak from experience. It is incredibly easy, very, very easy. They have these pies that you can put together and you can share your pie with other people. It's just your investment portfolio, basically. It shows what percentage you invest into each different asset. It doesn't tell the amount, which is quite nice, just the percentage and what you actually invest into. And you can share that with other people. You can copy other people's pies. I really like that feature. I think it's really visual and really nice. It probably wouldn't be the feature that sells me on them, but it's nice to have. If you've watched my previous video where I did an invest with me, that was the first time that I'd actually invested on Trading 212. So I logged on and I did an invest with me live with real money and it all worked. So that goes to show you how simple it is to use. Interactive Brokers is not quite as simple and as straightforward. It's more of a complicated, confusing system. But that's because it has a lot of extra information. It has loads of research on there, loads of tools to use. It's just very in-depth. So it may not be accessible for the average person or a beginner, but it may be really, really useful and really good for someone that just wants that extra bit of detail. When I was on Interactive Brokers, I loved how much information there was on there. It wasn't the simplest to use, but it also, after getting used to it for a bit, it wasn't impossible either. So if you are an established investor and you've got some years experience, then I don't think it's going to be a negative for you. It's actually probably going to be quite a good thing. But if you're new, maybe just consider that it might be a little bit more confusing. I've been with Vanguard, Interactive Brokers and Trading 212, and for all of those, I've made videos using the platform. So if you want to go back through my videos and have a look at some invest with me's or, videos titled Vanguard, for example, you will actually see me using the platform so you can get more of an idea. Invest Engine is incredibly simple and incredibly beginner friendly. The same with Vanguard, you're really not going to struggle on either one of those platforms. Hargreaves Lansdown, again, an interactive investor I've not used, but I think they're meant to be quite straightforward as well. So speaking about a mobile app, some people want both mobile and desktop. That's kind of important to me. I do like having it on my phone and I like looking at my portfolio when I'm out and stuff, but I also really like having it on a big screen and being able to log into my portfolio on a laptop or on a desktop. Personal preference again. I care about it, you might not. Freetrade only have a mobile app. The mobile app's very good, it's very easy to use, it's very nice to use, but as far as I'm aware right now, there's no desktop version. Trading 212, I don't know what this little text is here, let's move that out of the way. Trading 212 have both a mobile app and a desktop platform as well, so you can log on your laptop, your computer, your phone, whatever it may be, you won't have a problem. Interactive Brokers is the same. They have a mobile app and they have a online platform. Online platform? You know what I mean, a desktop. You can log on elsewhere. What I will say is that they may differ slightly. So what you can do on the desktop version and on the mobile app may be slightly different on some of these different platforms, but they're still there for you to use. Invest Engine has both. Again, Vanguard do not. Vanguard only have a desktop version, so you won't be able to download a Vanguard app and log into your Stocks and Shares ISA and see it on your mobile phone. And as far as I'm aware, that's because they want to promote long-term investing. So they don't really believe that you need to be checking your account every day on your mobile, and you can just occasionally log on to the desktop version and check it there. Whether one's going to come in the future, I don't know. I believe the American accounts have a mobile version, but again, they're not Stocks and Shares ISAs, so they may be a little bit more open to the idea of trading and stuff in those accounts. So I don't know, but right now they do not. And as far as I'm aware, since I began investing, they've not had a mobile version. Hargreaves Lansdown have both, and so do Interactive Investors. So the last column that we have, but it's not going to be the end of the video, I want to show you some fees I've been paying on different platforms, and I just want to point out a few more things that may be helpful to you, but that is fractional shares. Fractional shares is basically the ability for you to buy anything less than one whole share at a time. So some companies, their share price is pretty high. Let's just say a company's share price is £150 or $150 per share. If a platform doesn't offer fractional shares, then you have to buy one whole share at a time, meaning you can buy 1 share, 2 share, 3 shares, 4 shares. You can't buy 0.5 shares, you can't buy 1.1 shares, etc., etc. So if you can't afford that £150, $150, whatever I just said, per share, then you're going to have to save up until you can. But if you can buy fractional shares on the platform, then you can buy 0.2 of a share. So it's a bit more accessible. And for me, fractional shares are very important, but they may not be for everyone. I think most platforms will be going towards fractional shares because it is kind of important for most people now. As investing becomes more and more accessible, you can now invest with as little as £1. You don't have to have loads of money to start investing. And fractional shares really ties into that. So I do think it's important, and I think there'll be a push towards it. definitely something to consider. Free trade offer fractional shares, Trade and 212 offer fractional shares, interactive brokers, yes. Invest Engine, yes. Vanguard is a little bit different. You can't buy fractional shares of their ETFs, but you can of their index funds. Again, something to bear in mind. Hargreaves Lansdown, I don't think you can buy fractional shares. As far as I'm aware, you have to buy whole shares. Now, again, I encourage someone to correct me if I'm wrong. And Interactive Investor, I don't believe you can buy fractional shares either. One more thing that I want to point out is that every single one of these platforms is regulated by the FCA and all are covered by the FSC as well. I just wanted to give you some further information on interactive brokers specifically and Trade and 212 because I know that the fees are really confusing on interactive brokers and I've been with them so I can share some real numbers. What I will say is that interactive brokers will be very cheap for you. It's a very, very cheap platform if you're making perhaps just one or a couple of investments per month. If, however, you are going to be making really regular investments, then Trade and 212 or a different platform that we've discussed may actually work out cheaper because, you know, that commission free. If you're making regular trades, it may be actually better to be on a commission-free platform. If you're making regular transactions and they're not going to be crazy high amounts, so let's just say maybe 500 a month, that may be split up into different investments, 100 into this, 100 into that, whatever it may be, but you're not investing loads each month and you're investing a few times, it works out cheaper on Trade and 212 than the £3 a month on interactive brokers. But it really depends on how often and what you're investing into. I'll put a little screenshot on the screen now as I talk through this, but this is taken from my interactive brokers account. I was with them for 11 months, so April through to this March, and my fees are on the screen. So the other fees is coming from the monthly activity fee. So you know that £3 that I spoke about, and then it gets money gets minused if you're making regular commissions. So that's that fee. However, you'll see under that, I've also been charged £60.59 of commissions and then £12.89 of transaction fees and these other little fees here that are, you know, not really here or there. But I was a bit confused because I was expecting all of my commissions to be removed from that £3 a month, but it didn't seem to be working that way. And I called up and I asked about this and they said that what I see in front of me here, what you can see is correct. So across the year, well, just under a year, across the 11 months, I was investing about £500 a month, roughly, give or take some months, obviously. And it cost me £79.23 for 11 months. So that's about £7.20 per month on average. Based on that £500, if I were to invest into a couple of stocks or just one stock on Trade and 212, it's not going to cost me that much per month. So like I said, it's really, really going to depend on how often you're investing and what you're investing into. Based on what I've seen so far, it costs about £1.49 in stamp duty tax to invest into a UK stock on Trade and 212 and about 75p for, again, depending on how much, 75p for US individual stocks and £0 for ETFs. So I hope that's helpful. If you've got any questions, leave them below. I would encourage you all to look into any of these platforms further because I'm sure that there's missing information here. I'm sure that it's a little bit confusing sometimes. So for me, it just made sense to move because I wanted to invest more regularly. But for other people, work it out for yourself. But interactive brokers may actually be very, very cheap, or one of the other options I've spoken through today. It's going to really depend. So I encourage you all to do your own research. Take this video, go and look at other people's videos, go and look online, go and talk to other people, find out what's going to be the best option for you because your stocks and shares ISA provider is very important and it's very personal. So take time, make the decision that's going to be best for you. Having said that, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope this video was helpful and I'll see you next time in another video.